Hi everyone, I'm Cristina, Chief Creative Officer at Squirrly, and today we're going to take a look at how to get started with Email Hero by Squirrly. First thing, we will have to create an Amazon Simple Email Services account, make some settings over there, and then we can create our Email Hero account and make some settings over there as well. One thing to remember is that not only Email Hero asks you to make those settings, those are also requested by Mailchimp, MailerLite, and so on. Email sending services ask for those settings to make sure that you're a real person, that you're not going to abuse the system, and you're not going to be a spammer. So basically, you have to have a website, a landing page where you have an email opt-in, and the reasons why you're going to send those emails, a demonstration why you are sending those emails. But remember, once again, not only Email Hero asks for those settings, every single email sending services ask for those settings to make sure you're not a spammer and you're not going to abuse the system. So let's get started by creating our first Amazon Simple Email Service account. Okay, and here we are on Amazon Simple Email Services website. So let's create our account, create a new account, and we have to complete those data. And now we have received a validation code on our email. We have to check our email, get the code, and paste it over here. Let's do that. Over here is the code. Let's copy it and paste it over here. Verify. So now we have to create a password. Okay, so now we have to complete all this information for AWS. You can complete it at your own discretion, choose whatever works for you. One thing to remember is that this is a free trial and it will always be free for you. You will never have to pay anything for Amazon. So let's complete this information over here. As you can see, they ask for a lot of information in order to confirm your identity, so they will make sure you're not a spammer. Now we have to choose a support plan. We are going to go with the basic one, which is free, and complete sign up. And there we have it. Congratulations. Thank you for signing up with AWS. We are activating your account, which should take a few minutes. You will receive an email when this is complete. Okay, let's check our email. And over here we have some emails from Amazon. Welcome to Amazon Web Services. Thank you for creating Amazon Web Services account. For the next 12 months, you'll have free access to all Amazon services without the limits of the free trial. Okay. Greetings from Amazon. Thank you for signing up. And we also have welcome to Amazon Web Services. Explore more than 100 products throughout free trials and always free offers to start building on Amazon Web Services using the free trial. Let's refresh the page. Let's click over here on View All Services. Let's search for Simple Email Services. Okay, and over here we can see the Amazon Simple Email Services pricing. As part of this AWS free tier, Email Services offers a flexible free trial which enables you to try the SES email features you need free of charge. Okay, and you can see other pricing over here as well as a pricing calculator over here. So let's create our account, get started. We have to add our email address, click on next, add your sending domain, virtual deliverability manager that helps enhance email delivery and engagement rates by providing insights into your delivery, bounce, open, and click rates. You're also going to get insights inside Email Hero. Okay, let's review. and get started. Okay, so we see over here some limits. Those limits are for 24 hours. Those limits are put there in place in order to make sure that you are not a spammer, that you are not taking advantage of the system. After a while, you are going to be able to write to them and ask for better limits. And don't worry, Email Hero by Squirrly is going to assure you that you're going to have amazing deliverability, so you're going to be a trust email sender. Let's check our email really fast. As you can see over here, we have to confirm that we indeed ask for this service. Congratulations, you have successfully verified an email address. You can now start sending emails from this address. As you can see here, we have more information that we can read, and they are also letting us know that we can apply for sending limit increase. If we are not yet done that, we are in the Sandbox environment and we can only send email to addresses that have been verified. So in order to be able to test our email and our connection between Email Hero and Amazon, we are going to create an identity that is going to be verified. Before we do that, let's click on this button over here, Sandbox environment, so we can understand it a bit better, especially if we are new to this, because maybe you already used Amazon before and you know what all of those means, but for new people, they might not know, so this information might help them. So this Amazon Simple Email Services Sandbox, it is here to prevent fraud and abuse. As I mentioned before, they want to make sure that you're not a spammer and to help protect your reputation as a sender. While you are in the sandbox, you can use all the features of Amazon Simple Email Services. However, your account is in the sandbox. We apply the following restriction to the account. You can only send mails to verified email address and domains. I'm going to show you how to verify your email address in order to send tests and make sure everything is set up correctly. You can send a maximum of 200 messages per 24-hour period. You can send a maximum of 1 message per second. For sending authorization, neither you nor the delegated sender can send email to non-verified email addresses. And over here, we learn what we have to do to get out of this sandbox. For this, how can recipients opt out of receiving emails from you? You're going to see that you're going to be able to add an unsubscribe button really easy inside Email Hero. So let's verify our identity first by going to Configuration Identities. And as we can see, our email address is already verified, only our domain is pending verification. So if you want to create a new identity, click over here to create identity and complete over here this panel. So now if we are going back to get set up, we can see that we still have some open tasks over here that we have to create. So as you can see over here, we still have to send a test email. For this, we will have to create our Email Hero account. This is not something that only us are requesting you to do. This will be requested everywhere you are going, no matter what services you are using. We simply chose Amazon because it's the most reliable one. So Email Hero will be the one that is sending all the emails that you're creating, but the Amazon is the one that actually delivers the emails to the email list you are using. So it's basically more reliable than other products, than other email marketing providers like Mailchimp and so on. So you will see that the emails that are actually sent through Amazon are actually delivered because it's built by a very powerful team. We at Squirrly have used the Amazon SES services for over 5 years, so we know it's a very reliable service. And we've had much higher deliverability rates by applying our techniques than using other email marketing apps out there. So let's create our Email Hero account. Let's go to app.emailheroapp.com and create our account. Okay, and here is our account. Now let's go to settings, account settings. So in order to find those keys, those access keys, we have to go back to Amazon. Over here in search, let's search for IAM. Let's click on it. And over here to my security credentials, over here to create access key. And let's create an access key. Let's copy it. Paste it to access key. And the secret one, let's copy that one as well and paste it as well. So in order to see this region, we can go over here to AWS, and over here we can see our region. You can also see it over here. So let's check it. And there we go. Let's click on save. Now let's scroll a little bit and we have to add a sender profile. So let's click on add new profile, sender name and sender email. Add profile. Okay, we have to check our email in order to confirm our profile. Okay, so now that we have confirmed our email, all we have to do is send an email. But before we are sending an email, we have to create a template. Templates are basically how our emails look like. So let's go over here to template, add new template. And over here we can rename our template. We can use some custom CSS style code if we want to. And now we go over here to header. So here is where we are creating our header template. So in the header, we usually have the logo, the company name, and a tagline. So by clicking on this, we can choose how many columns we want the header to have. So we can choose the column properties, like the background color of the column. Let's just show you where that is. You can choose the padding, the border, and the row properties, like the background color of the row. As you can see, it's for the entire row. If you want the background image, and so on. So let's just leave a row color. Let's choose a more light one. Let's say like that. Okay, and now let's add an image that will be our logo. As you can see over here, you can create images with AI. You also have the mobile preview as well as the desktop one. You can upload the image, or you can use a stock image. As I don't have my logo on this computer, I'm going to add a stock image. You can resize it from over here. You can choose how to align it. You can add the alt text. You can add the URL to the image so it will open in a new tab, or somewhere else it will open a website or send an email or call a phone number. You can choose the padding, and of course if you want to hide it on desktop or not. Okay, by clicking once again in the outside, we can add a headline. Let's add the headline first. Okay, over here we choose the headline styling, the font family, the font weight, the font size, the color of the font, the text align, the line height, the padding, and once again if we want to hide it, and let's not forget that we can preview it for desktop as well. And we also have over here a text line. Okay, and once again you have the same settings. So whenever you want to add a new block, you click outside of it. When you want to edit one, you click on it. And don't forget that you can add columns and so on and so forth. You can also drag the content in the columns if you've changed your mind. And if you have more columns, then you have more columns property for each and every one of them. And by going between columns, you can also resize the columns like this. And when you're happy with your design, you just go back to sections, and then you're going to create a footer. As you can see over here, you already have the unsubscribe button, and once again you have the same settings that you had for header. In order to change the background for the entire footer, you go over here to body and change it from over here. Of course, you can add the content that you want. Maybe you want some information about you, maybe you want some social media buttons or some images, whatever you might want. So you can also add code, so it's very easy to use. Whenever you want to delete something, you just click on it and on the delete one. So for the moment, as this is just an example, let's leave just the unsubscribe button, and the body is actually the email content. Okay, and when you're happy with everything that you have done, you just click on done and you have your template. Let's go back. So now that we have a template, we also need a list, so we know to what person we want to send this email to. So let's go to list management. Here we are going to click on add new list. We have to name the list. As you can see over here, you can change the color of the list. We don't have any categories right now set up, but we can leave a note to our team so they know for what this email list is used. Okay, we are going to save it. So now by clicking on the list, we can see over here that we can import subscribers or manually add them. Let's add a manual subscriber. I'm going to add myself just for the test for this example purpose. As you can see, the software is searching for your email inside all the lists that you have to search for your contact, for this particular contact. Because we don't have it, let's add the contact and save it. Okay, and we have it over here. We have the email address, the name, how many emails were sent, open, rejected, clicks, and so on. Okay, so let's go back to the list. So as you can see over here, now we have a list with one subscriber. So now that we have a template, so we know how our email will look like, and we have a list, so we know to whom we are sending this email, we can go over here to Email Composer and create our email. So we have to create an email name so we know what this email is about. It's going to be the first email that we are sending when someone subscribes to our list. So let's say welcome email. We do not have a label right now. We have to choose a template. So we are going to pick the one that we just created. We have to choose the email subject line and the email preview text. Okay, and over here is where we are creating the body of the email. So we can choose whatever we want. We can also use AI for the text. Okay, and let's choose smart text. And we can expand the text, we can summarize, fix spelling and grammar, and so much more. Once again, this is just an example, so you can use it the way you want and the way it will fit for your needs. So as you can see, it expanded the text. Let's assume we are also adding an image. We can once again use stock images or use AI or whatever we might need. Let's use AI for this one. And you can see it over here. And I forgot to mention that once again you have all the settings for the font over here. By clicking on it, the font family, the font weight, size, color, text, the line height, and so on. Once you're happy with your email, you can just click over here on Save Base Email. Okay, so once the email is saved, we can also preview the email. As you can see over here, we have the header and the footer that we have created in the templates, and only the body is the one that we have created over here. So this is very useful when you have different brands or you have different categories, or you basically want to send different emails for different purposes. This way you don't have to always create the header and the footer from scratch, and you make sure that you always have the right logo, the right headline, the right text, everything is where it's supposed to be. As you can see over here, the body has a color and I don't like that. So by clicking on the body over here, we can choose the color to be white. And this is actually for the column, so I made this mistake. I don't want it there. I want it to the raw properties. And there we go. Now it's the way I want it. Let's save it again. Now that the email is saved, we can start send procedure from over here, or we can create iterations. Iterations are basically helpful if you are sending this email for different audiences and you're just making little tweaks that you need for specific audience. Let's say that you are sending for bloggers, you're going to, maybe you want to say hi bloggers, and you're sending to entrepreneurs, and maybe then you want to say how's it going innovators or something like that. And then the rest of the emails, maybe it's the same, so you only want to change the headline, and this is a very easy way you can do that. By going to all emails, we see over here that we have the email, the base email, and one iteration. And by going to email labels, we can create a label so we know for what purpose this email was created. And over here in notes, we can describe how we are using those emails. So let's assume that those emails are sent to YouTube audience. Okay, so let's add the label, and by going back to all emails to our base email and clicking on edit, we can add the label. So we always know what this email was created for what purpose. Okay, and let's create an iteration. Okay, so we can change the name of the iteration so we know for what this iteration is made for. We can also change the template if we need to, the subject line, the preview, and of course the body. Let's assume that we want different photo over here. I'm just gonna select one for this example. Okay. And let's save the iteration. And then let's start send procedure. We can check the email subject line, the preview text again. We have to select the list we want to send this email to. We can also exclude the list, so we make sure that we are not sending this email to that particular list. We also have to choose the sending profile. We only have one, so this is it. We can analyze the email, so we can analyze the score of the email. We can track email openings, click on links, and the deliverability can be sent now or sent later. And of course, if we would have had a huge list, we could have used batching. So we would have sent only to a little part of that huge list of the contacts, only a few emails at a time. Okay, let's review and schedule. Everything looks good. Let's click on send now. We can see that we can reschedule, preview email, edit email iteration, schedule duplicate, or unschedule. Let's preview the email. As you can see, we can see the iteration that we just sent. And if we are going back to emails, to all emails, to the email that we have created, we can see that we have the base email and then the scheduled one. And by refreshing it, we can see that it is sending. Okay, now let's go back to Amazon. And over here to services, let's go back to simple email service. And over here, let's go to get set up. And we also have to verify sending domain. So let's get DNS records. As you can see over here, we have the CNAMEs that we have to add those records to our cPanel in order to verify the domain. We do this to make sure that our emails get into the inbox of the subscribers, make sure that we have good deliverability and that we are not blocked by even sending the emails out. So let's go to our cPanel. Let's scroll a little bit over here to domains, to zone editor, and over here to CNAME record. We have to add the name and the CNAME. Over here is the name, and over here is the value, and add a CNAME record. And we have to do the same for all of them. Okay, and now we can go to manage and check over here everything that we have done. And we can see them over here. So this is looking good. So now by going back to Amazon, let's close this one. Let's refresh it. And we can see over here that verification is pending. Okay, everyone, so I'm still pending verification. What you can do after you are verified, basically you're going to be able to apply to be taken out of Sandbox in order for you to have better limits, to be able to send more emails, and to be able to send emails to email addresses that have not been verified by Amazon. Because in our case right now, see over here, this email is still trying to send, as we have two contacts over here, one that has not been verified by Amazon, one that has been verified by Amazon. If we are going over here to schedule, we can abort sending, as we can see that he has tried to send this email multiple times for the email address that is not verified by Amazon, and it has one successful email sending for the email that has been verified by Amazon. So we're just going to click here on abort sending, and if I'm checking my email, I can see the email over here. So this is the email that has been able to send. But once again, after you're going to be verified, you can request to be taken out of Sandbox, and that way you're going to be able to send emails to whoever you may want, and the limits are going to be way higher. Once again, this is not something that only us are requesting. This is something that any email marketing service that respects themselves and the customers ask for, in order to make sure that you have good deliverability and that you're not a spammer and you're not abusing the system. Hi again. So it's been a few days since I last checked if I've been verified or not, and as you can see right here, I can request production access. This means that I have been verified. If I'm going over here to configuration identities, I can see that my domain has been verified. Okay, so if I'm going back to get set up, I can click over here on request production access in order to increase my limits, as well as being able to send emails to someone else outside the email addresses that has been verified by Amazon. This basically is requesting us to get out of the Sandbox. So let's complete this information over here and submit request. Okay, successful submit request for production access. It might take 24 hours to review the details of your request. And we can see over here that it is in progress. If we're clicking on it, we have a case ID. If we're clicking on that button, we can see it over here. And we can see the status that is pending. And if we are clicking on the case ID, we can see over here once again the status. And over here we have a correspondence from Amazon, where they are asking for a bit more information for why we need to increase the sending limits. And you see over here, for example, tell us how often you send email, how you maintain your recipient list, and how you manage bounces, complaints, and unsubscribe requests. It is also helpful to provide examples of email you plan to send, so we can ensure that you're sending high quality content that the recipients will want to receive. So let's reply to this correspondence by giving more information, so we make sure that we are accepted and we are going to be able to get out of the Sandbox, and we're going to increase our sending limits, as well as being able to send emails that had not been verified by Amazon. Okay, so we have responded to their initial contact and gave more information about how we are going to use the system and what kind of emails we are going to send. So now if we are going back to Email Hero, we can see over here the dashboard. We can see that we have to contact, as I have previously shown you, that I added my personal email address, and as well as the email address that has been verified by Amazon. One email sent because it was sent only to the email address that has been verified by Amazon. Apparently no open rates. We can see over here the top list, we only have one. We can see the upcoming scheduled emails, last email sent, and monthly list engagement. And if we are going over here to scheduler, we can see the email that has been cancelled. I cancelled it because it was keep on trying to send the email to the email address that has not been verified by Amazon, and until we are taken out of the Sandbox, we cannot really send the email to an email address that has not been verified yet. But as I just shown you, we have requested to be taken out of the sandbox in order to be able to do this, and we have one successful email that has been sent to the email address that has been verified, that we can see over here. Once again, this is not something that only us are requesting. It's something that is requested by any email marketing software that respects themselves and respects the customer. Those checks are in order to make sure that you have a really good online reputation. So we are working with Amazon Simple Email Services because this service makes sure that you have a good online reputation, that you have a great online reputation, and that your emails are being sent directly into the inbox of your subscribers and not in the spam folders, or even worse, not being sent at all. And of course, besides using Amazon Simple Email Services, Email Hero has been made in such a way that it ensures that your emails are getting directly into the subscribers, into your audience inboxes. So because we are still in the sandbox, we can only send the emails to the email addresses that have been verified by Amazon, but we are going to get out of the sandbox really soon because, as I shown you, you can submit your case in order to be taken out of the sandbox. So by sending a new email, let's go to emails, all emails. Let's go to our email again. Let's create a new iteration. Let's change the iteration name. We are going to keep the same template. We are going to keep the same subject and preview. We are only going to change the image. Let's also add a button. Let's save the iteration again. Before we are going to click on Start Set Procedure, let's go to Lists, to List Management, to our list, and unsubscribe the first email address that has not been verified by Amazon. Unsubscribe, delete. Let's simply remove the contact from the list. We have to confirm it. There we go. Okay, and now we have only the email address that has been verified by Amazon. By going back to emails, all emails, over here to our new iteration, let's go to edit. Let's go over here to start send procedure. Let's choose the list. We are going to track the email openings and the clicks on links. Let's review and schedule, and let's send now. And if we are going to refresh the page, and we can see over here that the action has been completed. You can see over here that this email has been skipped because another email was sent in the past and it's related to this one. This is because I haven't changed the body of the email and he doesn't want to send duplicate content to the same email address in such a short time. Still, I want to show you this performance analytics. By clicking on it, we would have been able to see the email sent, deliver to, open rate, clicked links, spam reports, bounce rate, and unsubscribe. We're going to be able to see that soon. We should have been able to see the link activity and open and clicks rate. But once again, this email has not been sent to the same email address because the same content inside the email has already been sent to that particular email address and it does not want to duplicate the content and to annoy the recipient. Our case is still under process, but once the case is resolved, we are going to be taken out of the sandbox and be able to send emails to email addresses that have not been verified by Amazon. And we're going to get better limits. So this is what you can do right now in order to be able to send emails with Email Hero by Squirrly. So thank you for tuning in. Stay creative, stay inspired, and keep optimizing your online presence. Until next time.